Okay, episode 4 of Championship Week focuses on the Region 3A championship games. Let's start with the Laney Lady Wildcats. I'll just start by saying I'm going to pick an all-AUG B-ball team. 5 slots, and 3 of them are already secured before I even start making notes and making decisions. One of those 3 slots goes to Aaliyah Collier. What a joy she is to watch. I wrote yesterday how she's always around the ball and always making the right pass. Loads of that last night. Played with so much energy, and she makes everybody else so much better. It's got to be a joy to play with Aaliyah. Another player on that team who was so impressive, freshman Daisha Benjamin, really makes shots, can shoot the basketball from deep, makes pull-up jump shots, uses her left hand, passes well. Very, very good player. But as I said in the post, this victory was not about 1 or 2 players. It was a total team effort. These girls really like playing each other. The support from the bench is always overwhelming, and the support from the crowd is always overwhelming. What a great group. I will get to Hephzibah in a second, but for now, congratulations to the Laney Lady Wildcats for a win, for a region championship, both regular season and tournament, and I can't wait to follow them on their march to Macon. Moving on to the boys' game, I mentioned the all-AUG B-ball team and how 3 slots are already locked up. Well, another of those 3 slots goes to A.J. Gray out of Washington County. Had what I said was the best individual performance of the season Thursday night, and came out with the same type of ball Saturday, making tough jump shots off the move, fading away from the basket with hands in his face. Really, he and Ty Lewis and Antonio Jackson, those guys played last night as well as I've seen them play all season. Washington County too. So after what I believe was their best game Thursday in a blowout win over Butler, I believe they played their best game again. I believe they played their best game again Saturday, and that tells you how well Laney played. Laney led by 10 at the half, 40-30, despite Washington County playing so well. Laney made shots Thursday. I talked about that. It was the first time in a while that they made shots, that they were hot from the field, and they were hot from the field from the jump Saturday. Jay-Sean Brooks made a 3-pointer on the first possession. Colin Young came in and made 3s. Zep Jasper made shots. The team was in great rhythm. 40 points in the first half after scoring 92 in the game Thursday versus Josie. Of course, no Laney game would be complete without Jalen Taylor getting loose for a couple dunks. Javon Walker got one in the second half, and I guess what was really cool last night is Jay-Sean Brooks turned one over after I saw him last week against Josie try to dunk one and throw it into the stands. He turned it over last night and threw one down. That was great to see. Jay-Sean, by the way, is the 3rd player who has a locked-up spot on the all-AUG B-ball team. A guy that I respect more than anybody when it comes to basketball is Keenan Mann, a former GRU Jaguar, has his jersey retired there. Best player to ever play there, in my opinion. And Keenan, I think Keenan would tell us that Jay-Sean is the best senior in our area. And Keenan always knows what he's talking about. Well, what I love about Jay-Sean is he can score, he can shoot, and he can defend, and he makes all the little plays. He's done it all season long, and he's just been a joy to watch. So back to Laney as a team. These guys, 26 straight victories, 26-1 on the season, a region championship, and they will. I know they start their march to Macon Wednesday night at home. I believe the girls will play right before that. That's not official. I'm not positive, but I believe that's the case. And I look forward to finding out when Washington County and Hephzibah girls and all these teams crank it up, because I'll be following them on their march to Macon. Now, the last thing I'll say is there were third place games yesterday too, and Butler and Josie played. And I say this out of love for those guys. I've followed them all season. I'm huge fans. It was disappointing that they didn't compete yesterday. I just have to call it like I see it. There was no life in that game, and I guess maybe because it was for third place, that's the situation there. But anytime you have the privilege of stepping between the four lines with 3 referees in uniforms, young people, I say take advantage of it, because you won't be playing that forever. And so go out there and compete no matter what. And I sure hope they compete come next week when they start their march to Macon. And then the very last thing I'll say is, speaking of competing, speaking of the right way to play, Hephzibah's girls got down something like 29-8 versus Laney. Crowd going wild, Laney clicking on all cylinders. Well, there was no give up in the Hephzibah girls. Shoshana Miller, the point guard, is somebody I've kind of focused on the last few days. She made a great play to feed her teammate on an and-one basket to put the Rebels into the championship game. And things didn't come as easy Saturday as they may have come Thursday for her and her Rebels teammates, but they did not give up and they did not quit, and they made a scare out of that game in that second half, and they did it the right way. They did it the right way for 32 minutes, and I just happened to say hello to Coach Wendell Lofton on walking the baseline, while he was walking the baseline, and I told him that his team played a great game, and he said one thing. He said, "We tried," and it was only 2 words, but those were the correct words. Those were real words, and they did try, and that means everything. And that's why, quite frankly, I was disappointed with Butler and Josie. So I hope all the teams try next week, and I hope they all have success. And I'll be cheering for them, and to the extent that I can do it, I'll be in every gym possible. And that is why I can confidently say that I will see you in the gym.